Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is about WWE this week, such as Raw, which is interesting tonight, I should say, and the spoilers for partial superstars and some breaking WWE news, but some people already knew that. And off with some news. WWE and WCW former talent Larry Zybisco's son, Tim Zybisco, made his professional wrestling debut on Saturday night for I Believe in Wrestling's promotion out of Orlando, Florida. Zybisco defeated Gorilla Hanley in his pro debut. WWE superstar Yoshitatsu continues teasing a feud against Lord Tensai and Sakamoto on his Twitter, which happened on Raw, and you will hear the results later on in the show. Speaking of Tatsu, fans started what do you call the social networking pound? I guess it's, I still don't even know what it is. Save Yoshi Tatsu campaign this weekend as WWE releases are expected within the next 1 or 2 weeks. Tatsu asked fans not to say his thing because it makes him look weak. WWE officials are expecting a ratings boost for this week's Raw Super Show thanks to Brock Lesnar. Next week's Raw is taped from London, England, and the belief is that Lesnar won't make the trip over to the UK for the taping, but that's not confirmed, as he's only signed on for like 40 out of 52 weeks of shows. Okay. So, whatever his contract. And former WWE talent Luke Williams, a.k.a. Bushwacker Luke, recalls giving WWE's Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, John Laurinaitis, his start in professional wrestling industry during an interview with SportsTownChicago.com. He's quoted by saying, "We broke him into the business," unquote. Williams said of Laurinaitis, who broke into the National Wrestling Alliance in 1986 as a flag bearer for the Sheep Herders. "We were in NWA and he came in and Dusty Rhodes put him with us. Dusty was the booker at the time and he put him with us to learn the business. When he first started, he carried our flag, and after a year or so, we went into the six-mans and all that. John is a very educated man. He's got a bachelor's degree in business. Bushwacker Luke left in 1988 to go to WWE, and John Laurinaitis stayed with WCW and teamed up with Shane Douglas to form the Dynamic Dudes." Alex Riley, who played college football years ago at Boston College, discussed the similarities between football and pro wrestling in an interview with NBC Washington promoting tonight's Raw Super Show at the Verizon Center. He's quoted by, "Always tell people that when you're a football player, you're really a number under a jersey," said Riley. And he's also quoted by saying, "As a WWE superstar, you're a total personality. From the moment you walk through the curtain, they see everything. You're not covered at all. You're out there in your underwear, which is your trunks. They can see your face at all times. I think there's nine or 10 cameras out there that can catch whatever way that you're feeling. What you say, the way you look, the way you walk, how you move at any moment once you start performing. It's very difficult to learn how you've always got to be in character," unquote. After spending 3 years in Florida Championship Wrestling, owning his craft, Riley earned a spot on WWE's main roster in 2010. He says he could not have written a better start to his WWE career. I'm quoted by saying, "On NXT, and it was a lot of fun having The Miz help me out because he was such an established performer already. So got into that show with him was a gift. Excuse me, cold coming on. And then to be a part of it with his run as WWE champion was incredible. The situation was incredible. Being able to be in the ring with guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, John Cena, Roddy Piper, and to help headline WrestleMania with The Miz, Rock, and John Cena, I couldn't have asked for anything more, said Riley. After Riley, who played college football years ago at Boston College, discussed the similarities. I guess I wrote it down twice. Okay, that was basically all he said in that little interview. And the Bella twins are rumored to be leaving later this month when the contracts expire. And the American Icon autographs president Sean Jacoby told DivaDirt.com that the duo will not re-sign with the company and that he is handling their post-WWE bookings. Now, which characters will come on to the celebrities that appear on Raw now? Fortunately for the Three Stooges, the twins are still under contract for their appearances on the show tonight, in which I did not see them at all appear. Well, now for your events that happened tonight. Three people have sent in results for it. Sayed Ali, Jose Carrillo, and Eric V were at the Raw show in Washington, D.C. and sending updates. Superstars taping results. Damian Sandow for Dark Match defeated JTG. I'm giving him the nickname as Jobber to Go. There's another a prediction that he may be one of the releases since they ain't got nothing for him. Okay, Superstars tapings. Match number 1, Kofi Kingston defeated Kurt Hawkins with Tyler Rex as a sidekick. Kelly defeated Brie Bella. Well, there's one of the Bellas. And now for Raw. They hyped the Brock Lesnar and the Three Stooges for the show. Michael Cole announced CM Punk versus Mark Henry for later on. The pyro goes off inside the Verizon Center as Cole Saw and Jerry the King Lawler hyped tonight's show. We go to the ring. Out comes John Laurinaitis and David Otunga. Laurinaitis is here to introduce the new face of WWE, he says. Someone who is not here to entertain the fans. Laurinaitis calls this man a pure athlete and keeps putting him over. We saw a video from last week of Brock Lesnar returning to take out John Cena. And then we come back and Laurinaitis says Lesnar will face Cena at Extreme Rules and bring back the legitimacy to WWE. Laurinaitis introduces Lesnar. Out he comes. The crowd applauds as Lesnar takes the mic. He thanks Laurinaitis for having the wisdom to bring legitimacy back to WWE. The crowd boos as John Cena's music hits immediately, and out he comes. Cena smiles before walking up and smacking Lesnar with a bitch slap in his face. Lesnar then tackles Cena and they go at it. Officials and Otunga try to break things up. The entire locker room then empties out as some referees come out first. And then your agents and other street clothes officials and superstars were there, such as, Jamie Noble was in street clothes, Joe Hennig, Michael McGillicuddy, for those that don't know. And also the rest of the locker room was dressed in their wrestling gear. Kofi Kingston, Santino Marella, Alex Riley, who made his appearance on Raw, and that sort. Well, they tried to keep him up. They got separated. Then John Cena's mouth was busted open real bad by it's supposed to be a fist shot to the face. Well, from what I've seen, in my opinion, it was a forearm shot because it went right across his lips to give him the cut. and Cena was bleeding as he leaped across the ring, tried to attack Lesnar again. Superstars kept tried to keep the two separated. Lesnar broke through this time and hit Cena with a right hand. They go back to the brawling as everyone tries to break it up. Finally, Lesnar dragged out of the ring. Cena was still smirking with a bloody mouth as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Luarinitus is yelling at Teddy Long backstage, blaming him for everything. Teddy was told to keep John Cena in control. Luarinitus then tells Teddy to go get an explanation from Cena. Eve Torres walks in and wants to talk with Luarinitus. He tells her to make an appointment, and then they will have a one-on-one in Stamford. Eve tells him to call her and walks off. Next segment was Brodus Clay and Santino Marella versus Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. Back for the break, and out comes Brodus Clay with his dancers. He's joined by WWE United States Champion Santino Marella. We see the clips from last week where Clay came to the defense of Santino against Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler in a handicap match. Miss Piggy Guerrero came out and introduces Ziggler and Jack Swagger. Santino starts things off with Ziggler and holds his leg. Ziggler with a roll up for a 1. Ziggler took Santino down and covered for another 1. Santino arm dragged off and worked on arm. Dolph drops Santino and tags in Swagger as Clay also comes in. Clay comes in and takes control of Swagger. Swagger blocks the belly-to-belly suplex and takes Clay down. Swagger with an offense and a 2 count. We go to commercial with Swagger working Clay over on the ropes. Back from the break. Ziggler and Santino are in control. Back to the break. Ziggler has Santino in control. Elbow drop and a 2 count by Ziggler, and Swagger comes back in. Swagger puts a knee to Santino's back, keeps him on the mat. Santino tries to make a comeback, but Swagger slams him into the mat for another 2. Dolph came back in and got a roll up for a 2 count. Ziggler connected with a clothesline for another 2. Ziggler keeps Santino grounded on the mat as the crowd started chanting for Clay. Clay came in and runs over Ziggler and a clothesline and a headbutt. Clay with an overhead suplex and then a big splash on Ziggler for the win. Okay. More with Luarinitus yelling at Teddy Long backstage. Johnny wants to know where John Cena is. Cena walks in, mouth still bloody. Cena says he likes to hit and likes to be hit. Cena says he's just getting warmed up and will handle his business at Extreme Rules against Lesnar. Cena says he wants to compete tonight and tells Luarinitus to pick his opponent. Luarinitus then tells Teddy to go inform David Otunga that he will face Cena tonight. Santino Marella is walking backstage looking for the Three Stooges as he asks Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins if they have seen the Three Stooges. They act like they don't even know who they are. They blow him off and he walks away. Santino continues looking for the Stooges. Then we see footage from CM Punk versus Mark Henry from last week. Henry gets his rematch for the WWE title tonight. Same results. He wins by disqualification in the match. But first you have Santino Marella still looking for the Stooges backstage. And he walks around the corner and he walks into Kane just standing there in a hallway next to a locker room, and Santino hurries off doing his Olympic walk. Next up was R-Truth versus Cody Rhodes. We go to the ring. Out comes R-Truth for the next match. His opponent is Cody Rhodes and is out next. Bell rings and they lock up. Back and forth until Truth clotheslines him and takes control. Cody with a drop down right hand. Cody nailed an Alabama slam and Big Show's music hits. Intercontinental Champion comes out and shows us a video of Cody losing last week due to Show's distraction this time. And Cody turns around and goes back to work until he gets hit by the little Jimmy for the win. Which is nothing but an arm pull DDT. Pull in the arm and goes face crusher. More Santino backstage looking for the Three Stooges. He comes up on a big box labeled Fragile with a backwards E. And thinks it's a care package sent from his mama in Italy. He opens the box and out comes the Three Stooges. And and the box opens like a staged thing. Santino has a crowbar opening in the side, and it just topples over on the top. Out comes rolling out is none other than the hype. The actors playing the Three Stooges part for the upcoming movie this Friday the 13th. And also there's a Friday the 13th marathon on TV this Friday as well. Okay, what happens in this segment? With the package being open, he opens the box. Out comes the Three Stooges in typical Three Stooge comedy. Yeah, Santino shows them how to do the Cobra and walks off. One of the guys asks him how to do the Cobra. Yeah, you know. And they cut him off right there. He wishes them good luck as they go to commercial. Next up was Lord Tensai versus Yoshitatsu for your Japanese match. Japanese versus Japanese match, back from the break, and Yoshitatsu is waiting in the ring as Lord Tensai makes his way out with Sakamoto right behind him. They go to lock up, but Tensai hits a series of chops to the head. Tensai drops down on Tatsu's arm. Tatsu tries to fight back, but Tensai drops him. An Albert chant broke out from the crowd as Tensai beats Tatsu down in the corner with headbutts. Tensai hits a big double underhook, slam, and a splash. Tensai with a big splash in the corner and a series of elbows in the corner. Tensai then hits a sit-down powerbomb and grabs Tatsu, but the referee stops the match because Tatsu is out. He's like blinking one eye and the other eye is open. And he's just laying there. Similar to a-rye last week. Well, after the match, Tensai spits a mist on his hands, which is nothing but salt water. Applies the claw to Tatsu. Kind of like, okay, my salt's going to stick to my gloves, so it'll stick to his head. Tensai drops Tatsu again, this time with the claw applied, and holds it until his music hits. Back from the break, we go back to a break, and then when back from the break, we see footage of Chris Jericho attacking Punk from last week. We go to the ring, out comes Punk. He's pissed off and grabs a mic. Punk says straight edge isn't the concept that everyone gets. He says he's heard it his whole life. Punk talks about the choice to be straight edge and calls it a way of life. Punk talks about how he's the best in the world and the crowd chants his name. Punk brings up Chris Jericho in their feud, the insults about his family and the match at WrestleMania 28. Punk says Jericho had to take it one step further and do what he did, and he did what he did last week. Punk says the only thought he had last week while laying out on the ground was that he smelled exactly like his father did, and he cried. Punk goes on, but is interrupted by Chris Jericho on the big screen. Jericho says Punk looks a little green this week and asks if he's still hungover. Jericho goes on taunting Punk about being drunk. Punk says Jericho can't break him. All that he broke last week was a bottle. Punk says Jericho made the biggest mistake of his life. Punk is going to take every bad memory and bad emotion he has and use it against Jericho. Punk says it's no longer about being the best in the world. It's about kicking Jericho's ass. WWE title match, Mark Henry versus CM Punk. Just as he's saying, I'm going to beat your ass. Mark Henry's music is, the one, is his music. His theme music. Mark Henry music, and he comes out for tonight's title match. Back from the break, and here we go. Punk unloads on Henry and tries to take him off his feet. Henry knocks Punk out of the air. Punk rolls out to the floor. And Mark follows. Punk grabs a monitor and hits Henry with it for the DQ. And for those that don't know, you better call somebody. Because everybody knows you've got a price for the $1 Million Man. And the title cannot change by disqualification. After the match, Chris Jericho comes walking down the ramp with 12 packs of beer. But Henry attacks Punk from behind. Henry brings Punk into the ring and hits him with the World Strongest Slam. People who watch this video If you can tell me what kind of beer it was, and comment on it, because I think it was Milwaukee's Best, because that's what it looked like in the package. But I could be wrong, because I have 2 highs. Some people have 4, some people have 6, whatever. Well, Jericho entered the ring and goes to pour beer on Punk. Punk kicks him and fights him off for a couple of kicks. Jericho catches Punk with a code breaker and lays him out. Jericho cracks open some of the beers and starts pouring it all over Punk, about half of the 12-pack. Jericho empties several beers on Punk's body while talking trash. Officials come down to clear the ring, but Jericho is still tossing beer on Punk. Punk tries to get up and finally does, but runs right into another code breaker, which sets up probably another match for the next pay-per-view, is my guess. The next match was Zack Ryder versus Alberto Del Rio. Back from the breaking out comes Zack Ryder. Ricardo Rodriguez begins the introduction as Alberto Del Rio comes driving into the arena. It looked like a Corvette to me. Well, the announcers were calling it some type of Mercedes. The bell rings and Del Rio unloads a Ryder. Del Rio took control and then beat Ryder down in the corner briefly. Del Rio charges but runs into a boot from Ryder. Ryder hits a Broski boot and then went for the Rough Rider. Del Rio ducked it and ended up catching him in his cross arm breaker spin and got the quick win as Ryder tapped out. Finally, the Stooges are backstage slapping each other some more. Apparently they're headed to the arena as we go back to commercial. Back from the commercial and out comes the 2 of the 3 Stooges. As they're doing their impersonations of the real Stooges. Then all of a sudden everybody in the arena thinks it's Hulk Hogan returning. Because I'm a real American. Fight for your rights of every man. Well, the theme music hits and out comes Larry dressed as Hulk Hogan. You know, the bald-headed guy. Well, he does a pretty damn good impression of Hulkster. The crowd boos him at first. Larry starts impersonating Hulk Hogan and plugging the new Three Stooges movie. Brother. He's actually talking in his little high-pitched voice and what have you until he gets slapped. And then he immediately goes into the deep voice, Hulk Hogan. Brother. Well, just as he is plugging the movie for this Friday, with the Three Stooges, Kane's music hits and out he comes. Kane makes the ring explode and the Stooges get scared. Mo and Curly run off at this time. Larry tries to hook up, but Kane choke slams him into the mat to end the segment. He done some pretty good moves there. He even did the Hulk Hogan, you! And the crowd was well into it. And then we see footage from earlier from Mark Henry and Chris Jericho beating up CM Punk. Josh matches backstage with Henry for an explanation. Henry says he's beat Punk by count out and DQ 2 weeks in a row. Next week it will be a no DQ, no count out match against Punk for the WWE title as they go back to commercial. And Josh Matthews is backstage with Brock Lesnar and asks him if he's proud to be back in WWE. Lesnar says he's proud of everything he does. He talks about leaving WWE 8 years ago and going to UFC. Lesnar says UFC success was built on his blood, sweat, and tears. Lesnar says Cena couldn't hold his jockstrap in a million years, and he's proved that earlier tonight. Lesnar says he isn't here to make friends. He's a war machine and an ass kicker. So I guess throw out the PG for her out, because since they're bleeping out they're not bleeping out the ass name the ass saying, but they're kicking out bitches and everything else. Okay, they get a video for looking at the end of an era match at WrestleMania 28 with Triple H, Undertaker, referee Shawn Michaels. Then your main event, David Otunga versus John Cena. We go to the ring, out comes David Otunga and John Laurinaitis for tonight's main event. Back to commercial. And back from the commercial, here comes John Cena. The bell rings and Cena tells luarinitus to get off his phone and watch the match. They lock up and Cena goes behind. Otunga works on the arm and Cena fights out. They trade some holds again before breaking. Otunga kicks Cena in the gut now and takes it to the corner. Cena fights right out and unloads with offense. Cena misses a splash in the corner and goes down to the mat. Otunga mounts Cena with the right hands and drops elbows. Otunga hits a big clothesline and keeps control of Cena. Otunga opposes as the crowd boos. Otunga with another clothesline in the corner and a shoulder off the ropes for a 2 count. Otunga with more offense and more posing. Cena takes advantage and comes out with his usual set of moves. Cena with a 5-knuckle shuffle and some words for laryngitis. Cena hits the attitude adjustment on Otunga and applies the STF for the win. Well, John Cena won the match as Brock Lesnar appeared out of nowhere and dropped Cena from behind with a low blow. Cena gets up and Lesnar lays him out with F5, which again was a little bit off because F5 is almost, it's a kind of like the attitude adjustment, but it's a swing and it's a face crusher. Well, Cena 2 weeks in a row has landed on his side and his hip, which can actually break an arm, injure a hip, yada, yada, yada. So do it right, pros. And surprise, Ring of Honor, 1 month of taping. Right here, as you hear it first. Thanks to .net reader Dustin Diaz for the report. They actually had one dark match. Tavares Thomas beat an unknown wrestler. The crowd had no patience for the match. Thomas won a bad match with a kick to the head. And now for your TV taping, week 1. No dates for the shows. Cedric Alexander and Caprice Coleman defeated the Briscoes in a proving ground match. Solid opener. The Briscoes always fire up the crowd. Finish came with Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. The world's greatest tag team beat up Jay Briscoe behind the referee's back. And Mark fell victim to a double team move. Match number 2, Rhino. Yep, Rhino returned to Ring of Honor with Truth Martini beating an enhancement wrestler. Martini cut a promo beforehand and about Roger Strong winning the ROH TV title and how he signed Rhino. Clothesline suplex, gore, good night. Match was over. Kevin Kelly introduced Kevin Steen, accompanied by Jimmy Jacobs. They mentioned a match scheduled between Steen and Edwards, and they talked some trash. Davey Richards came out. Both men were wearing flags. The match is in Toronto, Canada. There was more shit and talk between the two, including the personal history between them and the fact that Steen asked Richards for help in getting reinstated. After all that shit talk, they challenged one another right then and there. The refs kept them apart. Jim Cornette had them sign a waiver saying Ring of Honor is not liable for any injuries to each other. Cornette then revealed the waiver also states that the pile driver is legal for 1 night only, and also that it's scenes only shoot. Good promo segment, real solid heat between the two. This will be a good one, and the match is up. Roger Strong with Truth Martini defeated Adam Cole to retain the ROH, the Ring of Honor TV title. Michael Elgin came out midway through the match. Cole dove onto him without provocation. When Elgin recovered, he distracted the referee, allowing Martini to smash Cole with the Book of Truth. Strong then hit his finisher for the win. Week number 2. Tommaso Ciampa with the Embassy defeated Matt Taven. Ciampa went for the win after hitting a German at the bell, but Taven survived. Jay Lethal then sat at ringside and the match continued. What looked to be a squash became a competitive match. Ciampa won with 2 running knees into the Tree of Woe, followed by Project Ciampa. He then confronted Lethal, but that didn't go anywhere. Match number 2. Mike Mondo beat TJ Perkins. The Young Bucks came out, and just like the earlier match, Perkins dove on them and Mondo before they interfered. I guess they did I guess they did then because Mondo won right after that. But didn't get to see it. The Bucks and Mondo triple teamed Perkins until the All Night Express made the save. My goodness. This stuff is getting getting a bit predictable. Mondo was much more over than at the previous Baltimore tapings. Match number 3, Kevin Steen defeated Kyle O'Reilly. Seen with the F5, he and Jacobs then attacked Kyle's leg, which had been hurt during the match. Davey Richards rescued his lover. This led to another pull apart. Steen left and Davey cut a bad promo, promising to kill Steen. He also called himself a wolf repeatedly. I wish he would stop that shit. And match taping number 3. Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas defeated D-Line. The losing team may have been locals. They were very over, and there were lots of people wearing their shirts, mostly kids. I never heard of them. Shirts covered the D-Line's fatness. Haas and Benjamin couldn't quite cover up what shitty wrestlers they were. The Colony of Fire in match number 2. The Colony of Fire Ants. Green Ant and Soldier Ant. Well, they won a match against El Hijo del Ice Cream. Well, sounds like a anthill match. Well, his other tag team members were Ophidian and a third wrestler unnamed. The Colony won with a triple team alley pop splash. This match was hilarious. If you haven't seen Chikara, this is a good representation and fun stuff. Match number 3, Jay Lethal beat Ricky Reyes. Reyes is not very over, probably because he only appears at Ring of Honor TV tapings and only to job. Lethal won a short, unremarkable match. And match number 4, Ring of Honor champion Davey Richards defeated Rhino with Truth Martini and Roger Strong. In a proving ground match, Richards won when he countered the Gore with a sunset flip. Yeah, he won with a sunset flip. Decent match. The crowd no longer loves Davey, to say the least. The House of Truth jumped Davey afterwards. Jay Lethal made the save. And heel faction, yeah, the world's greatest tag team is now heels. The reason to watch this match is to see Truth's ridiculous outfit. And your final taping of the month, which is taping number 4, Eddie Edwards defeated the Prodigy Mike Bennett with Maria Kanellis, Brutal Bob. Brutal Bob tried to interfere, but Edwards double stomped him. Bennett tried to capitalize with a roll up. Edwards instead rolled him up. There was another heel beat down. The match was whatever. Edwards is good. Bennett has plateaued and made Maria too central to his act. It's a good act, but he's screwed when she inevitably dumps him. Grizzly Redwood was scheduled to wrestle Caval Dickinson, not sure of the spelling. The House of Truth entered before the match could get started. Truth offered the jobbers money and they accepted. Match number 2, Jay Lethal and Grizzly Redwood beat Michael Elgin by DQ in a handicap match. Elgin murdered Dickinson, who was helped to the back. Grizzly put up more of a fight. Lethal came out and became his partner. Lethal took the hot tag. Lethal and Elgin wrestled for a while. Roderick murdered Grizzly on the outside. They then ran in for the DQ. This angered Elgin, and he and Strong nearly come to blows. But Martini calmed the situation down, and the House of Truth uncomfortably left together. Match number 3, the All Night Express defeated the Young Bucks in a tag team elimination match. Rhett Titus was the sole survivor. Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin ran out to attack A&X. That's All Night Express. With the Bucks, D-Line makes a save. They made a challenge for an 8-man tag, which was their dark match main event. Since it did not air on the TV, wow, D-Line is effing horrible. I have no clue or what they are, but they suck. And the dark match main event, All Night Express and D-Line defeated Charlie Haas, Shelton Benjamin, and Jeremy and Max Buck in the 8-man tag match, and they said it was a horrible match, not even worth even thinking about, much less. Well, that's going to end my Ring of Honor results and also the TV tapings and Superstars and Raw results for tonight. Thank you and have a nice night.